Hey there, welcome to the Chainlink Wyckoff technical analysis session. So here we'll start looking at the weekly chart and then go into the daily and see where Chainlink is heading. It may have come down for a bit, but there would be signs that it should do a little bit of rebound before it goes further down. Let's see whether that's the case. Here, from the weekly chart, this week we are only halfway through the week, and then the selling, the trading volume isn't that crazy at the moment. So if it's like the volume of last week, we would have been doubling from what we have now. So basically, we're now like 25% of what the volume was in the past 3 weeks. So one other thing here is, when we look at this candlestick this week, there's a pretty long wick over here, meaning there's quite strong buying the dip, I would say, that has happened. So this AR automatic reaction, I'll still keep a question mark because sometimes the AR can go deeper. It may have already happened, but it's better to play safe to keep it there for another week. If a rebound really happened and a second test or an LPSY happens, then we can confirm that's an AR. So for now, we'll keep the question mark and add one more. Would there be a second test coming? If the buy climax is at this level, the key level of 26.10, the second test will also be somewhere around here, somewhere between 22 to 26.10, but it should be higher than this low, right? So let's see whether the next 2 weeks this will eventually happen, because when we look at the Bollinger Band corner squeeze, there's no squeeze at the moment. In terms of Wyckoff, there's a chance for a second test, unless the market really turns very bad and people start reallocating their portfolios and then pulling out the money from altcoins, putting the money back into some other traditional assets. That would trigger a bigger adjustment. But for now, if it's according to the Wyckoff textbook, this little white candle here shouldn't be the end. So finger crossed that would happen in a positive way. And then in the daily chart, there has been a little bit of sideways trading over the past 5 days, and the Bollinger Band corner squeeze is in some form of squeeze already, in my personal perspective, not the very absolute kind of interpretation, because if it's very absolute, the purple line above should have gone into here before they you consider it a squeeze. But for me, one line is in, the other line is close enough, I consider that a squeeze already, meaning a bigger price move is in the cooking. Let's say it's like putting something in the oven and then turn on the timer. It's just a matter of time that the swing would come. If this is the half thrust of the distribution, normally is like the end of the distribution cycle. But the tricky part is this is a daily time frame, and if we look at the weekly, it doesn't seem like it's going to finish, right? So I would say maybe, let's say this is the AR free, automatic reaction free. What happened here was an LPSY. I brought the tag over here. If the AR, this weekly AR, hasn't finished yet, it comes further down to really close around the $22 key level. That's where it is going to happen here in the daily as well. It may consolidate and then do a rebound. Then in the daily chart, what happens would be it may be trading horizontally between this white dashed line and the light blue key level in a narrow range, and then rebound a bit, testing the key level of the blue line 2610, and then eventually that becomes another LPSY. So let's say if what we're seeing now is the first sign of weakness over here near the light blue key level, next would probably the LPSY. If the weekly really comes back to retest the blue or even show an up thrust, then here we would see it coming up to test another level, but it's not that easy for the time being, because if I look at the volume over here, the bulls and the bears on the week of 18th, they had a big fight, and then the next day the bears won, and then now it's kind of trying to get back on track for the bulls, but it's not optimistic, especially the entire altcoin landscape has been shaking quite fiercely over the past few days in terms of like the percentage changes, a lot of them towards the downside as well, so it's kind of being suppressed. The sentiment isn't that bullish in reflected by the price movements basically. So is it going all the way to the selling climax? Maybe not, because if this is the case, that means this distribution cycle is over already, which is quite disappointing for whoever that's bullish, because last time when this happened after the automatic reaction, it lasted for 4 more weeks, like this white candle from the automatic reaction to this candle, 4 weeks before the price dropped back to where the automatic reaction was. That's January this year. If it really starts dropping next week, that means this cycle, this distribution cycle lasted only for 5 weeks or 6 weeks max, which is like half of what we have gone through. That's why I said it would be disappointing for whoever like bullish about Chainlink. Let's hope that's not the case. If you're in the bulls team, if you're in the bears team, that would be a jackpot that you can realize your gain much earlier than like last time. Hopefully we'll see some longer cycles in the future, but then for now, the entire period from late 2024 to now is more rapid changes, like from summer of 2024, kind of short 3 months, 3.5 months kind of accumulation, and then another 4 months of distribution, and quickly also another 3 to 4 months of accumulation. So it's like every 3 to 4 months we have a valley and then a peak and then another valley, and now we have a peak. So from the climb to where we are now, we're already almost 2 months in, and if it really follows this like 3 to 4 months pattern, by October time we would be somewhere back to the accumulation zone, if that's the case. That's just a hypothesis based on like observing the shorter cycles we are having in the past 12 months basically. Earlier on, it's like double the time. So this distribution cycle lasted for 287 days. So it's not even just double. It's like more than, it's 2.5 times roughly. Yeah, so that's the shorter pattern we can, shorter cycles that we observe from the patterns. So that's all for Chainlink for now. I will move on to the next section.